What's going on, everybody? I've got a rant to go on here, and I'm sure a lot of other people probably feel the same way or similarly to the way I feel. So, pretty much, I'm just going to go and straight out say what I feel about this and what I think needs to be done, probably immediately or as a long-term fix. And today I'm going to talk about Call of Duty Elite. Now, if you don't know, Call of Duty Elite was an add-on package, not really a package, but almost like a full-on like expansion to Call of Duty as it is. And I think it was around, I'm going to say somewhere between $49.99 or $59.99. I think it's $49.99, but I'm not entirely sure. So somewhere between the range of 50 to 60 bucks, which when you're already around there, that's a considerable amount of money. And if you don't think so, then I'd love to have your 50 bucks that you're not too worried about. But I'm sure by now everybody is either aware or fed up with this as much as I am. If you bought Modern Warfare 3, you were prompted to buy Call of Duty Elite. It was like a package deal. And they were promised all these things. I'm not even going to go into detail about what it is. You can find that somewhere else. But the things that stuck out to me personally were, the biggest thing was clans. And it's really the only one of two reasons I think I was going to get it. The biggest reason probably for everyone is you get all the DLC. If you have Call of Duty Elite, the DLC is already yours, is what they said pretty much. You already own the DLC. And that was the biggest reason I wanted to get it. It's pretty much like a season pass. And by the way, this money I'm paying, let's say it's $50, just hypothetically. If I'm wrong, don't quote me, but let's say it's $50 for this discussion. This $50 that I bought is only good for the year. So from the moment I started using it, I was already losing time on this. So after being prompted to buy this and all these things, all these weapon stats, advanced things, and clans were the biggest thing for me. I really, really wanted to use the clans. I haven't had a good clan system since back in the Halo 2 days, which were almost like the quote-unquote glory days for me and my friends. Anyone who was back then could agree, and I was kind of hoping this would kind of bring it back around, even though it wasn't like in the game like Halo 2 had a clan system just built in. But it would have a clan system like this, and it had some pretty deep stuff with clan like battles and keeping stats on your clan, like your clan has a rank, and I think that's really, really cool and really connects the whole online experience, which is half the point of playing a game like this that is so multiplayer based. And all this stuff was promised. And launch day, they took my $50, and launch day, Call of Duty Elite did not work. Now, it's funny because maybe other people would look at this like, oh, it's just a video game, but video games are becoming more and more, how do I put this, they're becoming bigger in a sense, like more real, I guess you could say, real world, because it's really all this DLC and how much the games cost as of now it's a lot of money, and it adds up, especially in a day and time when it's very rough to get a job, to keep to get things like luxury items and stuff. It's tough, and everybody knows that. So when game prices and things like this continue to go up, it's a little ridiculous. So this is a week later. This is November 16th, the night of November 16th, and I've just recently checked, and Call of Duty Elite still does not work. Over a week later from the game's launch, when I was promised all of this, it still does not work. Launch day they took my money, but I didn't get my product. So essentially, so far, I've been cheated. For a week, all of us who have bought Call of Duty Elite have been cheated. And it's completely unfair. And I feel pretty unjust about a lot of this because Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, Activision, whomever is in charge of this, because I don't know, that's another thing, it's not marked anywhere, they have not sent any type of notification, anything to say, hey, I'm sorry, we had a problem. And I do know, after searching, that they had server issues, like there were way too many people on the servers. Now tell me, you really didn't see this coming? You really didn't plan for millions of people? Because, stop me if I'm wrong here, but doesn't the back of your game box, or the quote that Call of Duty franchise always plays is the best-selling game of all time? Which would imply that you sell the most amount of copies on launch week than any other game in the year. Isn't that right? So certainly you were expecting millions and millions of people, because if you weren't, someone went wrong somewhere in marketing and planning. Because those two, that would just contradict what you call and how much money, this game franchise rakes in. And everyone knows it's the juggernaut of the gaming whole season and everything. So it's just, I I don't find that as a legitimate excuse. I don't accept that as an excuse that too many people hit the servers. And if so, it should have been fixed immediately. I think you had enough money to hire to hire on some more people to fix these servers or buy some more servers, whatever needed to be done. I'm no tech, I'm no pro at this kind of stuff, but all I know is if you're right there with your hand out ready to take my money, I expect my product to be there. You know what I mean? I don't hand over all money for a car and then not have the car for a week, and they're saying, oh yeah, it'll be there eventually, or don't even say anything. Like you buy something and it should be there tomorrow, and it's not, and then you wait and it's not there again, and it's not there again. This is ridiculous, and if this goes on more than 2 weeks, it's gonna start to become a problem, because I know me as a person that I paid for this myself. That was kind of money that no offense, but I could have been better spent on another game, like just anything else that could have come out this year. Anything else, I'd at least be, my money would have gone to good use, because so far this is just crap. It's a waste. And I think it's ridiculous that they haven't sent out any kind of public notification, like maybe right on the front, like saying, hey, sorry, we're having problems. We know this is an issue. We're working hard to fix it. And I would also expect that once they get this back up, that we're going to say, hey, we're going to refund you because you lost an entire week. I could understand 1 or 2 days, like you only lost 1 or 2 days. That's not a big deal. But this is a week. I expect a refund. Like if someone paid for cable and didn't get a week of cable for their TV, they would demand a refund from the cable company. This is ridiculous, and this is a level of bullshit that I haven't seen, and I didn't even expect from Activision, Infinity Ward, Call of Duty, however you want to phrase it, what it's coming from. Because these things are getting more and more expensive. They're just finding more and more ways to get more and more money out of us without giving us anything. This time, for real, they're not even giving us anything, because Call of Duty Elite still does not work. And this is just a problem. I expect a refund of the time I've lost, and I expect an apology. Those two things. And this might sound like an angry rant, and it is. If you're not angry about this, maybe you don't really care about losing your $50, which again just kind of makes me laugh a little bit. Some people might be relaxed about this and just don't care, but I'm sick of losing my money to. I'm sick of wasting my money on virtual content. You know what I mean? It's kind of ridiculous how much they expect us to pay for such things. And other than that, I just wanted to kind of get my thoughts out on this and just say, hey, Activision, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, who's ever listening or who's ever working on this, you messed up. You messed up bad, and you're really doing a terrible job of fixing it. And I didn't even want to buy this Call of Duty. I was kind of talked into it, and although I like it, the extra thing I bought is just, it's a waste. And this marks the end of Call of Duty for me. I will never be buying another Call of Duty game again. Definitely not at launch. Definitely not any of this Call of Duty Elite crap. And as soon as my subscription's up, guess what? I won't be renewing. So that's all I really wanted to say. If you guys feel the same way, feel indifferent about it, feel free to let me know. And yeah, hopefully this will be fixed before too long.